Hey guys, just when you thought I was done with chocolate cake, you'd be wrong. We're back again with another great recipe. Let's get started. So in a medium saucepan, I've got some unsalted butter, I got some semi-sweet mini chocolate chips, you can use regular size if you want to, some granulated sugar, some light brown sugar, I'm going to pour in some milk, and then I'm going to put this on the stove and heat it up and mix it until it is liquefied. Now, if this looks very familiar, if you remember my white chocolate mud cake, it's pretty much the same recipe except I replaced the white chocolate with semi-sweet chocolate. It was kind of an experiment and it ended up working very, very well. And what you're seeing right now is me making it a second time because of how good it came out and I knew I had to make a video. I had this over medium heat and continued stirring until everything was melted. Once that's done, I'm going to take this off the heat and let it cool, and I'm going to preheat my oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to get my dry ingredients ready. In a medium-sized bowl, I'm going to take some all-purpose flour. And if you're wondering why I'm using this one dry measuring cup, it's because I don't feel like cleaning more dishes. Then I'm going to add some salt, baking powder, baking soda, and then I'm going to pour in all of my chocolate mixture that I made earlier, which is completely cooled now. I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla extract, and I'm going to take a large whisk and just mix this all up. Because I used melted chocolate in this recipe, the smell from this batter is just filling up the house, and it's so amazing. Alright, so now this is done, I'm going to add my last ingredient, which are 3 beaten eggs. Go ahead and take your whisk and just mix this all up until your batter is completely smooth, and you don't see any sign of egg left in there. Alright, so this is looking fantastic. I think we're ready to put this in our baking pan. I'm going to pour this in a 9-inch baking pan that I greased and lined with parchment. And if you want to, you could put this in 2 8-inch pans. Just want you to know it's going to bake at 325 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 to 25 minutes if you go that route. But since we're putting this into a 9-inch pan, this is going to go into a 325 degree Fahrenheit oven for 40 to 45 minutes. It's going to dome a little bit on top, but that's okay. When I take it out, once it cools, it will flatten. So don't worry about that dome. Also, I let this cool for about 10 minutes before I took it out of the pan, and then once I did take it out of the pan, I let it cool for about another 45 minutes. And after 45 minutes, it should be at room temperature, which means it's time for icing. This is just milk chocolate icing that I got from my local supermarket, and I'm just going to spread it all over my cake. And I feel like this kind of icing is good for a cake like this. What goes great with chocolate? Easy, more chocolate. I'm taking my small offset spatula, and I'm just going from the top to the sides. Once the cake is completely covered with icing, I'm going to switch from my offset spatula to my bench scrape. This will help make everything look more smooth. As you can see, once I get the top smooth, I go around the sides, and then I clean up the edges, and be sure to wipe off your bench scrape as you do this. And that's looking pretty good. I'm cleaning up the bottom of the plate with a wet paper towel to get off all the excess chocolate. And then I'm going to top this with some sprinkles. You could use chopped walnuts or pecans. You could even use fresh berries if you'd like, but I'm going to keep it simple and just stick with sprinkles. Alright, our cake is good, and you want to serve this at room temperature. The texture is completely different if you put it in the fridge. It comes out more like a torte, which is not a bad thing at all. In fact, that's really good. But personally, I prefer it to be at room temperature. It's more fluffy and cakey, and I just like it more that way. Also, chocolate is more perceptible at warmer temperatures. Now, like I said earlier, this is my second time making this cake, so I already know what it's going to taste like. And I was really looking forward to having it again because this is now one of my new favorite chocolate cake recipes. And I know I've made other chocolate cake recipes in the past, so I'm not going to go on and say, oh, this is the best one out of all of them. No, this one's really, really good. So it was just something that I wanted to share with you, and I think you would really enjoy too. It also has a few less ingredients than some other chocolate cake recipes. It's fast and easy to make. It doesn't have any cocoa powder. It doesn't have any coffee in it. It just relies on melted chocolate. And, well, I don't see a problem with that. So definitely check this one out, guys. I really think you're going to enjoy it. Alright guys, I hope you all enjoyed this one. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.